Hi, Ujval. How are you?
Hi, Saurav. Good evening. I'm
Good
good. How are
evening.
you?
I'm good too. So, thank you so much for joining us today evening. And thank you for sharing your pictures. I'm sure we'll have a great learning seeing your pictures and listening to your experiences about the kind of photography that you do. So, guys, thank you so much for joining today evening. I will first tell you a little bit about Ujwal, and then we'll get started. So he was born in Suryapet, Telangana, and he has been living in Hyderabad since his graduation, and he is working as an IT professional. And he is doing photography since quite some time. He's passionate about landscapes, and he's a nature photographer, and we'll see a lot of his wildlife pictures. He's very passionate about wildlife photography, and he has traveled to most of the national parks in India and sanctuaries, and especially in South India. And uh, and he says that for him every encounter in the wild is very special. So welcome, Ujwal, to this session. So thank you so much for joining us once again. So please tell us a little bit about your life journey as a photographer.
Sure. Yeah, thanks, Saurav, for the brief introduction. So, yeah, like Saurav was saying, I have been doing this photography from quite a good amount of time, I would say. I started right from schooling days. So, initially, I started with capturing videos using that old handycams, the heavy handycams.
Okay.
So, that's where I started to learn my, handshake and image stabilization manually.
Mhm.
So then slowly I started using these digital cameras. First I started with film camera with the reels and all. Then I slowly moved to the Coolpix, Nikon Coolpix camera,
Okay.
where
Mhm.
I actually started clicking a lot of landscape pictures.
Okay.
So then slowly after a couple of years then I moved to the DSLR when I got my job and when I
Mhm.
traveled to different places. So my first camera was Nikon D40.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the camera I used most, I would say. I have taken or I have learned a lot using that camera. So that's my
D40.
first D40.
Okay, so that must be about 10 years back, I guess.
Yeah, almost 10 to 11 years back. So with the basic lens, I experimented a lot. I captured a lot of landscapes. I learned how to use DSLR, how to move to manual mode, how to
Right.
come out of auto. So that's where everyone starts. But
Right.
yeah, my passion didn't, leave me.
Mm.
So I just continued learning with the digital SLRs. Then
Okay.
slowly I moved to D7000.
Mm-hmm.
So wherein I mean, I was a little bit serious about nature and landscape photography.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm using Nikon D750 with
Okay.
multiple lenses. So
Okay.
yeah, this is my overall photographic journey. But yes, I am from Suryapet. I have done my graduation there itself. And after that, I got my job and I'm still working as a full time. So a lot of people ask me, so I'm a full time photographer or I work somewhere. So I still work and I try to balance it out over
Mm-hmm.
the weekends or over the free time.
Right. Great. So, Ujwal, shall we go through your pictures, and then in between I'll ask you a few questions related to the pictures
Definitely.
or related to your life, or okay?
Sure. Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. So let me. Great. Wow. Very interesting.
So this is you won't believe this is my first ever safari I went to.
Okay.
I know
Wow.
people wait for years to see a tiger in the wild, but I
Right.
was really fortunate enough to spot
Mm.
this kind of scene
Amazing.
during my first safari.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's like we were just coming back out of the park, and all of a sudden there were a lot of noises around, and all the jeeps were running through,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly we saw these three beautiful tigers coming out of
Okay. Mm.
from inside the bushes.
Right.
So I had to bend down from the jeep, safari jeep, and take these pictures to get this kind of shot. So this is
Okay.
the mother in the front,
Mhm.
and these were the two cubs walking behind, two subadults, I would say.
Very interesting. So, where was this? Which place?
Yeah, this was in Tadoba National Forest. It's
Wow.
yeah.
Very nice. So, what camera did you use here?
So I was using D750,
Mm.
which is my current camera, and I
Okay.
was using Tamron lenses.
Okay.
So I was using Tamron 150-600
Okay.
first version lens G1.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And yes, this one is in Dandeli. I think you might have heard about Dandeli.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
it's
Yeah. Yeah.
heaven for bird photographers.
Right.
So in
Right.
fact, yeah, there were a lot of birds I have uh, captured in just one trip.
Mm.
Right? So this is one of the pictures. And yeah, again, it's the same gear, Nikon D750, and I was
Mm.
using Tamron lens. So throughout my wildlife, photography journey, so I have been using only these Tamron lenses. So I
Okay.
have, yeah, never used any of these prime lenses.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah, this is the Asian brown flycatcher. Yeah, this particular image is one of my most favorite. So this is a baby elephant
Right.
walking
Beautiful. Beautiful.
walking with the vegetation. So I
Mm.
always wanted to, print this on a, life-size image
Right.
as a huge poster, because I can
Mm-hmm.
really feel it whenever you see the picture. You can really
Right.
feel where
Right.
exactly
Very
you are.
nice. Right. Mm.
So there was a little story behind this.
Mm.
This is in Kavini National Forest. So
Okay.
just a few moments before I captured this picture, so there was a huge elephant which tried to, not attack, I would say.
Mm.
It tried to threaten us. I mean, so you always see that in Kabini, right? So there are
Right.
elephants
Right.
which are chasing the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened, and we were just going back. And when I turned back and see this beautiful baby elephant walking, then I realized why the mother elephant tried to, threaten us.
Okay.
So this was a really beautiful scene. So, and
Beautiful.
after
Absolutely.
that, there were a couple of pictures as well, wherein
Mm.
it is with the entire family. The complete herd of elephants were there.
Mm. Okay. So, Ujwal, did you have any formal training in photography?
No, as such. So like I said, I started with all the old cameras and
Mm.
the basic cameras. So I
Right.
started learning myself right from beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So the key factor, what I have done is when I purchased my D40, I tried to go through the complete manual, user manual,
Okay. Okay.
which comes with every
Mm.
DSLR, right?
Right.
So I
Right.
would say that's your Bible. If you go through that, if you
Mm.
understand your manual, you can easily
Right.
learn photography. You don't need to run everywhere.
Right.
So that's what I have done, and I still do that. I still
Mm-hmm.
try to refer back to manual if I have any questions, because
Mm-hmm. Mm.
that's everything. So every setting, everything is explained clearly in the manual.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So I'm self-trained, I would say. So I learned myself throughout.
Great. So, typically, when you go to a place like this, how many pictures would you take?
So yeah, depends on the sighting, but yes, in one go, I would say around 1,000 pictures easily.
1,000 pictures. Okay. And out of those 1,000 pictures, how many would you actually publish?
So I would say out of 1,000, I would finalize at least 10 of them.
10 of them. Okay. And what do you do with the rest of them?
Okay, so that's see, it's photography and post processing for me is like always, learning kind of. It's an endless road, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I always try to look back to my old images. I'll
Mm-hmm.
just keep them in my hard disk. So there are a couple of hard disks piled up already. So whenever I wanted to look back of my past experiences, I'll just relook into these photos, and you might get some different ideas of post processing, or you might think through differently when you relook into your
Right.
old pictures.
Right.
So
Right.
I always try to do that.
Mm-hmm. Great. So you said you have 1,000 images when you come back from a trip like this. So I mean, you delete all of them, or I mean the rest of them, or how do you, I mean, or you keep,
No, no,
how
no,
do
no.
you keep
I
that?
won't delete. I won't delete any of the pictures except if the picture is out of focus or
Okay.
non-exposed, or if it is really bad, I will
Hmm.
delete. Otherwise,
Right.
I'll keep it because
Hmm.
you never know how your brain will process, right? After
Right.
some couple of
Right.
years, so you might want to reprocess the same picture which we are looking here and make
Right.
it entirely a different scenario.
Right. Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, I would delete any pictures.
Hmm.
And I would say 1,000, I said, is maybe per safari. So if I'm going for any trip, I would definitely
Hmm.
come back with at least 3,000 pictures.
Wow. And how much time would you spend in post processing when you come back from a trip?
Uh, Again, so it depends. See, some of the pictures you try to pre-visualize how you wanted to process. So, for example, there is one picture in that folder which is the Golden Gate Bridge, right?
Okay. Hmm.
So some of these pictures I uh, pre-visualize how I wanted to
Hmm.
take the picture and then
Okay.
go to the post-processing.
Hmm.
And some of the pictures, like I mean, in the while you won't expect anything.
Right.
It happens suddenly.
Hmm.
So these kind of pictures, once you click, maybe you can think how you wanted to post-process, and if you wanted to create an entirely a different, kind of an art or a digital art or a
Right.
different
Right.
scenario, then I would spend a good amount of time. So the
Okay.
maximum I think I have spent is around 3 to 4 hours for one of the pictures.
Okay. Great.
But again, it depends on how fast you can post process and how
Right.
fast you can think through what you wanted to do
Right.
and put together in the digital tools. So it
Right.
all depends on how quick you are and how experienced you are.
Right. So, what is your typical workflow is like?
You mean to say for the post processing?
That's right.
So yeah, like I said, for post processing, so I try to take some time to imagine the picture how I wanted to process. If I wanted to go for a monochrome or if I wanted to
Hmm.
create something entirely different like a digital art. So
Right.
then I do the basic corrections first. On top of it, I will try to replicate any of these scenarios.
Okay.
Because I have been using these third party lenses. Definitely I wanted to do a basic correction. Without that, the picture cannot elevate. uh,
Right.
even with the prime lenses or any lenses these days, if you really wanted to make the picture appealing, so you might need to do some basic corrections.
Right.
Otherwise,
Yeah. So, any specific reason that you use third-party lenses?
not a specific reason, but
Mm.
that when I started wildlife photography, that was the affordable lens for me.
Okay. Okay.
Tamron 150-600.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
because it's like to go lens for any person who
That's
wanted
right.
to start
Right.
with wildlife photography.
Right. Right.
It is a fantastic lens and it is
Mm.
affordable, right?
Right.
And you are getting some good sharp images. So
True.
that's
True.
where I started. And I even when I upgraded from first version to second version, I really
Mm.
thought, do I need to still go for a prime lenses, or if I'm able to capture the images like the prime lenses, why do I wanted to spend extra couple of bucks to go for a prime lens? So that's
Right.
the reason I'm still using those lenses, and I'm really satisfied, and I'm getting some like super sharp images.
Great. Wow. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, so this is in Andhra Pradesh. So I went with my friends last year. So this is
Right.
in
Rollapadu.
Rollapadu.
Ah.
Yeah, Rollapadu Wildlife Sanctuary. It's one
Mm-hmm.
of the beautiful places, I would say.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And even the terrain,
Mm.
right? I mean, you can take any sort of pictures. You can take landscapes. You can take beautiful sunset shots.
Right.
So
Right.
this particular moment, I was able to freeze after multiple attempts, because we were
Okay.
moving, and these guys won't stop anywhere.
Right.
When they
Right.
see any jeep or any vehicle, it will just run away.
Hmm.
So I
Right.
tried multiple times to get this shot, and yeah, I was lucky enough to
Beautiful.
get this.
Beautiful.
So these are the black bucks.
Okay. So, typically, what kind of setting would you have for a picture like this?
I always have manual mode on.
Okay.
So I always shoot on manual. I know, I mean, there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of theories and a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
say,
Mm.
you have a lot of advantages using aperture mode or
Right.
shutter
Right.
priority mode.
Right.
But I was used to manual
Mm.
from years, right? I
Right.
mean, if you have that control, if you are able to
Mm.
manage quickly all the settings, then I felt this is a comfortable way. So I definitely would go above 1000 shutter for any of these sort of pictures. So I think this also I shot around 1250 or somewhere, and I have my ISO keep on auto mode. And again, that depends, right? Because depends on the scenario. So if I'm shooting on a monsoon or a gloomy day, I would definitely go for an ISO auto because I don't want to miss a shot if any of the bird I wanted to capture is just flying around, and I don't want to miss the shot with bad exposure or a blurred picture. But these kind of pictures, yeah, definitely I was on manual mode, and I think it was manual ISO as well, not auto.
Okay. So, do you? Okay. So then, what will be? So you are shooting in the manual mode. So, what kind of settings would you have here?
So yeah, like manual mode, I might have been in 1250 shutter, right? And ISO around 400, 640.
Mm.
I don't try to go above 1000
Okay.
uh, until and unless it is really dark.
Mhm. So
And I
currently, what
always
camera
have
are you
the,
using?
I'm still having the same one, Nikon D750 with the
Okay.
same lens,
Mm.
the 7200, sorry,
Okay. Okay.
150-600 G2 lens.
Okay. Okay. Great.
And I also do the white balance manually every time. So I don't want it to,
Mm.
because I like the images little bit warmer side, not
Mm-hmm.
on the cool side.
Okay. Okay.
So I always use the manual white balance.
Great. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, this again in the same place.
Mm.
But I wanted to say this is a double exposure image. I have merged the sky,
Mm.
and the below portion of the image is same. So only the sky has been replaced in this picture. But yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to create this because there is
Mm.
nothing wrong if I am clearly calling out that I
Mm.
have you know used the technique of double exposure and
Right.
merged
Right.
two images, because I
Right.
wanted to depict this scenario where the
Mm.
two black bucks are walking away or
Right.
going to their homes or whatever
Right.
we can call during the
Mm.
sunset time. So I thought that would give you the exact um, whatever I'm imagining, right? So
Right.
that's how I started to post process this. So I started to make the complete image a little bit warmer,
Mm.
and then replace the sky with the sunset sky.
Yeah. Beautiful. So, Ujjwal, can you please tell us a little bit about where do you, what are the do's and don'ts in terms of editing for
Hmm.
wildlife photographer?
Hmm. So yeah, so in terms of editing do's and don'ts, I would say definitely the basic corrections is always fine. But if you're trying to replace some of the elements in the image, if you're trying to replace some of the objects or
Mm.
sky, like in this particular image, or even if you are trying to heal in certain places, healing is also fine. But if you're trying
Mm.
to move and replace some certain images,
Mm.
you definitely need to call it out.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Right.
it shouldn't feel like we are capturing something and depicting something. If
Right.
you call
Right.
it out clearly as this
Mm.
is okay, this is kind of an artistic image, I wanted to
Right.
replace these particular things, then which is good. But
Absolutely.
so you have to be fair to the viewers, whoever
Mm.
is watching the picture.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, that's what I believe.
Right. And otherwise, in a picture like that, what kind of processing would you do generally? I mean, exposure, contra. I mean, what are
Yeah,
the different
so
steps
I always use
on an average?
Photoshop. Mhm.
Okay.
So
Mm.
I always use Photoshop. I have been
Okay.
using from a long time. So I
Mm-hmm.
started with Lightroom, but now I'm yeah, set with the Photoshop from long time. So I start with the basic processing, the basic exposure, and then sharpening.
Okay.
Sharpening, especially on the local sharpening of subject,
Mm-hmm.
uh, depends on the depends on the subject. If it is bird, you have to be extremely careful when you're sharpening, or when you're noise reduction.
Right.
So yeah, this noise reduction is one more thing which I definitely do, because I know I'm using third party lenses, and I'm not having the super camera as well. Of course, D70 handles a very good noise reduction, noise processing, but still, in low light conditions, definitely you need to do something to reduce that grains. And yeah, some other basic things like, yeah, I do crop a lot, because sometimes I don't exactly want to post the same image which I have captured, because I
Right.
wanted to compose it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the good practice is to compose when you are clicking itself. But sometimes it happens that you might not get that shot because of
Right. Right.
when you are in the field, you never
Mm.
know how
Right.
the things are moving. So I try to crop based on the. I definitely follow this composition techniques, because
Okay.
I that's the key strength, I would say, because
Mm.
I never go out of any of the composition techniques.
Okay. Great. Wow. Beautiful
Yeah,
light.
this. Yeah, thank you. So this again is a post-processed image. I wanted to. I have seen these kind of pictures a lot number of times, but I wanted to personally do in this half and half way, like the day and night, or the light and shadow way.
Okay.
So this image, if you see the real image, it's completely daylight. It's
Mm-hmm.
not even in these colors. It's in a different tones. So when you see a regular cat outside, that is how it should be.
Mm.
But yeah, I wanted to process in a different way so that it is you know hiding behind the light.
Beautiful.
So this is again a domestic cat. It's not
Mm.
anywhere in the wild. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So I think this is the most photographed, or one of the most
Yes.
photographed
Yes. In Hyderabad.
crystal in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Yeah, even I got a chance to go up close and shot this. But
Great.
yeah, I personally like the background in this image.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to balance it out with the sky and the back, that
Beautiful.
uh,
Very nice.
green color, terrain.
Right. So, Ujjwal, how do you educate yourself to take better pictures? So, do you refer to books or websites, or how do you uh, get better?
So first thing, I definitely try to post process a lot, review
Okay.
my pictures a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was telling you, right? Any picture I
Mm-hmm.
have taken from,
Right.
even a picture that I have taken 10 years ago, I wanted to reprocess again to
Right.
see what went well and what did not went well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I have reprocessed again one of the lion pictures which I recently posted.
Okay.
So when I look back, I saw this is a beautiful picture. If I reprocess now with my current skills, and it will elevate a lot.
Okay.
So I continuously try to learn from my pictures itself, how I have captured and how I should not capture in future. And there, of course, there will be a lot of reviews on the picture. So I try to, learn from those reviews, like what I have done. Some of the pictures I might have post processed it, not in a correct way. Maybe I've tried to, introduce some new light which
Mm.
I don't want to do in the future, right? I mean, because I have learned it from my past experiences.
Okay. Okay.
And not only that, I try to go through a lot of images from my favorite photographers.
Okay. So,
So
if you can name them, name a few, that will be great.
of course, yeah, I mean, my most favorite photographer is Shazjan. So
Okay.
I like
Mm.
his digital art. So
Mm. Mm.
definitely I try to replicate even few some of the images. So because it's really admiring to see those kind of images, and it's really motivating.
Right.
You always feel to capture more or learn a lot of things in the post processing if you see these kind of images.
Right. Right.
And another one is David Yarrow. So
Okay.
David
Yeah.
Yarrow, again, some of the beautiful pictures he has. I mean,
Yeah.
he captures a lot of pictures in monochrome itself, but the way he
Right.
executes, right?
Mm.
So that makes difference.
Right.
The way
Right.
the picture itself stands out from every other picture. So these are the two, yeah, one of my most favorite photographers.
Wow. This is such a beautiful scene in the range. Where was this?
Thank you. This is again in Kabini National Forest. So
Mm-hmm.
it was drizzling a lot, but not as you see in the picture, but
Hmm.
definitely in the original picture it was drizzling a lot, but it is not coming out. So I
Okay.
had to post process it to elevate the rain also.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah,
So,
so this
what kind
is.
of post processing did you do to elevate the range?
So I had to, in this particular image, I had to, separate out the whites, and I wanted to highlight the whites when it is
Hmm.
falling, like when the rain is falling,
Right. Right.
right? So I played with some of the, whites and contrast. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how. But I do a lot of, layering processing. Otherwise, you cannot achieve these kind of
Right.
results.
Right. Right. Great.
And then, in fact, I think I have added a little bit green as well, so that it
Mm-hmm.
it shows. Uh, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah, this again is a cropped image, but I really like this crop because I wanted to, this is again from my first safari in Tadoba.
Wow.
Because I was imagining before I
Mm.
went on to the safaris, this was the
Mm.
first time. So I was imagining all different kinds of shots, how it should be and how I need to take, because I was going
Mm.
through all the famous images of tigers and all. But I
Right.
especially this one I wanted to capture because I have seen some in some of the images like these furious eyes the people have posted. So I
Right.
wanted to capture the similar one, but I got this shot.
Beautiful. So, how much have you cropped of this image?
This I think I have cropped around 70%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Still looks quite beautiful. Very detailed. You can see very well. Very nice. Wow. Beautiful.
So this I have shot in our famous Aminpur Lake. I think you might have heard about
Yes.
Aminpur
Yes.
Lake.
Yeah. Yeah. Of
So
course.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I go there regularly. So
Mm.
this is again one of my favorite pictures. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the right moment, I would say. I have
Right.
captured.
Right. Very nice. Beautiful. So, how frequently do you go to Aminpur Lake?
Uh, Now at least we are not going, but yeah,
Right.
at least
Right.
once in a month, definitely,
Okay.
because
Okay.
you will find something or other. Aminpur
Right.
Lake, now they have got new saying like Aminpur Lake never disappoints.
Hmm. Hmm.
I have seen
Absolutely.
people capturing stunning images in Aminpur Lake,
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
different species and wide
Yes. Yes.
variety.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, this is in US. This is
Mm-hmm.
bald eagle, American
Mm-hmm.
bald eagle.
Right.
Again, there is a little bit story behind this.
Yeah.
So this is actually, this particular eagle, they have rescued. There is a team. So there is, I would say, NGO or some, a team that rescues all the injured birds and animals
Okay.
over the highways. So what they do is they rehabilitate them. So they rescue all these birds, rehabilitate them, and they train them. And once they are ready to go, so they will release into the wild. So this particular moment, so there is an event, yearly event they conduct. So during that time, so they have released this particular bald eagle into the wild. So I was able to go up close and see this particular eagle and capture this.
Great. Beautiful.
So this
Beautiful.
one, yeah, I went couple of years ago with my friends. So this is near Nallamala.
Okay.
So just for this particular shot, we went all the way like till Nallamala forest from Hyderabad. We started around 12 o'clock in the night. We reached
Hmm.
around 3 o'clock and
Okay.
yeah, shot this one. So yeah, I mean, I got a different thought. Why wouldn't I include the car in the image? And
Right.
we have eliminated some lights inside the car itself
Right.
and then captured this.
Very nice.
Yeah, this I think I have taken using Tamron lens again. Yes, Tamron
Okay.
1535 lens.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so in fact I started, yeah, I was about to say about this image. I started my, photography with all the landscapes. So
Okay.
I started capturing wildlife very recently, like from last 4 or 5 years. But
Hmm.
initially I used to take a lot of landscapes. So even
Okay.
if I, look back into my hard disks, I can
Hmm.
find tons of images which I can post process and,
Hmm.
publish.
Okay.
So this is my most favorite image. This has been published in Nat Geo as well.
Beautiful,
Uh,
beautiful. That man there really makes a lot of difference.
yeah, that man, and there is a small airplane, So yeah, there were a lot of comments on this image as well. So I
Hmm.
really like this because I actually planned and captured this image, and I have taken this image using 150-600 at 600 mm. It's not using any wide angle lens.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And this was around 6 o'clock in the morning before sunrise. All
Hmm.
this golden hues, and
Right.
it
Beautiful. A
actually blend
very
with the Golden Gate Bridge.
right. A very different picture of the Golden Gate, because generally you see pictures with like landscape, wide angle with everything
Right.
visible. So this is a very very different picture. So
Yeah. So this is exactly at the same time, right before I took that shot, or maybe after I took that shot. So this is the picture of Golden Gate Bridge,
right,
and in this picture as well, I have added the clouds.
right.
Everything else is intact, but I have added the clouds for
Okay. From some other picture.
making it. Yep,
Okay. So which one is your personal favorite? The previous one or this one?
previous one.
Okay.
This I have reprocessed very recently. In fact,
Okay.
last month.
Okay. And
Earlier,
what software you process in Photoshop?
this one I used Photoshop as well as Luminar.
Luminar. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Back to your wildlife
yeah.
pictures.
This is Indian greyhound bill.
Right.
I captured. So I had to wait at least for I think 1.5 hour during the peak sunny day to
Okay.
capture this,
Mm-hmm.
because I was observing from like very distant. I have been observing. I have been listening through the calls of sounds of this bird, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know where exactly it is. So
Okay.
I walked through a little bit, and I had to wait for at least 1 hour to see where exactly it is flying, what it is doing. Then I got to know that it is coming to this tree to eat these fruits.
Okay.
So then I got this moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about patience if you wanted to capture birds, right? I mean,
Right.
instead of places like the settings where you
Mm.
have in
Right.
Dandeli or any other places, to
Right.
capture these kind of pictures in the real wild, or outside real scenarios. So
Right.
definitely you need a lot of patience.
Right. So, and where was this?
This was in this is near Hyderabad only. I think
Okay. Yeah.
one
Yeah. We have plenty
one
of them in Hyderabad, in and around Hyderabad. Plenty of.
yeah, yeah.
Right. So, Ujjwal, we have a question. So, Naveen is asking, nowadays, almost everyone has access to take pictures. So, what do you think is the difference between a professional photographer and a hobby photographer?
See, I mean, on the books, if you ask me what is the difference in the professional and hobby photographer, definitely hobby photographer is not a full time, so he might have been working
Right.
somewhere else, or he's just trying to continue his passion to as a hobby.
Right.
Like me, I would say I
Mm-hmm.
did not want to leave this behind any time in my career. I have been working from last 14, 15 years, but still I try to capture something or other, or I try to post process something or other. But if you are in a professional field, you definitely have to do something, right? You might have some assignments, you might have to travel on purpose to somewhere
Right.
to capture something, right? It could
Right.
be anything. It could be nature, it could be a documentary, or it could be wedding.
Right. Right.
So if you are a hobby photographer and you are keeping up, definitely I should say the person should be really passionate to
Mm.
continue this.
Right. Okay. So, we'll move to the next picture. Yeah. Please tell us a little bit about this one.
So this is yeah, this again I captured in the wild. So in fact, the sky was completely blue. So I so this is the second time I processed this picture. The initial picture, the original picture is with the blue sky, but
Okay.
I thought, yeah, in fact, until and unless I tell about this picture, you will not recognize that the clouds are added.
Mm-hmm.
So I even called out clearly in my Instagram that I have added the clouds. I have
Okay.
reprocessed this.
Okay.
So earlier it was a clean blue sky picture.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like one of the most liked pictures.
Okay.
Because in the real world scenario, right, it is really difficult to capture these kind of shots with clouds as well as the bird.
Right.
Yeah, this is the picture I was talking about, the lion
Mm.
picture. I think I have taken this in somewhere around 2008 or 2009.
Right. Okay.
I have captured with a basic lens, Nikon D40 with 7300 lens.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's a kit lens, right? I mean, that's what I was trying to tell. So I try to utilize my gear to the extent possible to learn completely, right? So that then you will know like what are the different opportunities you have, how you can actually utilize your gear and capture these kind of pictures.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is my kid. So
Okay.
yeah,
Your kid.
I thought I would do a baby shoot myself,
Okay.
and yeah,
Mm.
I arrived it to this picture. So yeah, so I have used um, I think a softbox as well as TTL
Okay.
external trigger with two flashes to capture this one.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was first time I was trying to shoot a newborn photography. I
Mm-hmm.
started doing it with my baby itself.
Oh, very good.
So again, this you need a lot of patience, timing, everything. The same way you have to do for a bird photography,
Right.
because you have to you have to be really patient
Right.
to capture newborn photography. Yeah, this again is the same baby which you saw in the previous image.
Okay.
So, yeah, I
It's
captured
grown up
during
now.
his yeah
Mm.
I captured during his first birthday.
Okay.
So again, this is kind of an imaginative, kind of a dreamland post processing I have done.
Mm.
So again, there are a lot of elements added here which you might not even recognize, right? So it's if you see the complete tree above, right?
Mm.
So that's all added. It's not there, but there are
Right.
multiple layers. There were trees as
Mm.
well. There were branches as well.
Right.
But I had to add carefully so that it really replicates whatever I'm imagining. And you can
Right.
see the falling leaves. So these
Mm.
leaves are not from India. You can
Mm.
easily figure out.
Right. Right.
But see, for me, the overall picture should be pleasing. Whatever you do to
Mm.
the picture, you should
Right.
call out clearly, and the overall picture you cannot. It should be pleasing to your eyes, and it should be uh, not like you have edited this picture or you have modified something and it is reflecting on the picture.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this again the same baby now grown up a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
this is again I have planned and executed this picture. I wanted to shoot this kind of picture. I have been waiting to shoot this kind of picture from years. There
Okay.
is one more
Mm.
photographer I really admire. I'm not recollecting the name now. I used to
Okay.
follow his images a lot,
Mm. Okay.
and I wanted to create similar kind of images. So this is one of those kind of pictures I planned and executed during sunset.
Mm.
Yeah, this again from the same shoot, same day.
Mhm.
So we had to change the outfit and capture this. So again, a lot of detailing needed in these kind of pictures. I have used a macro lens, in fact, to capture
Mhm.
this 105 macro lens. Yeah, this
Wow.
is this is one of the low light shots I have captured, which
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This I captured using Nikon D850. So I got D850 and Nikon 200 500 from the Nikon team itself. So they have
Okay.
given me for this particular trip.
Okay.
So it was really superb experience using D850.
Mm-hmm.
So this we are going back from the safari.
Mm-hmm.
This is in Kabini National Forest again.
Okay.
I never spotted any leopard or panther or tiger in Kabini. So this is the only spotting I have had in Kabini.
Okay.
This tiger.
So what was the ISO like in this picture?
I think it's around 6400.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 6400 definitely. But I
Mm-hmm.
had to process a lot so that it won't look like
Mm-hmm.
grainy image, or I
Right.
have done a lot of noise reduction and
Right.
bring out the subject.
Right. I think the megapixel of the 850 is also another big advantage.
Exactly, that's another big
Yeah,
advantage,
big advantage.
and it's double from my current camera, so that's,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely a big
Hmm.
advantage. Yeah, this is also in during this Kabini trip, but not in Kabini. This is near Bangalore. So yeah, it was really beautiful scenario when I was looking into this picture, and even in the real time.
Hmm.
So the light was only falling on the kingfisher, and there is it's almost evening time, and there is a lake behind.
Okay.
So it's completely dark. I mean, you cannot see the lake clearly,
Hmm.
but there is a light, just peeping through and falling on this kingfisher. It was really
Hmm.
beautiful.
Very nice. Rajmantri.
This is in Rajahmundry, yes. So yeah,
Beautiful.
this is almost yeah, during the sunset.
Hmm.
So I have captured multiple pictures already in the same trip, but I wanted a different kind of perspective. So I asked my cousin to just go there and just wave.
Hmm.
So that actually elevated the picture.
Oh, right. Right. So, what is your favorite genre of photography? You have done almost quite a lot of different things. So, what do you think is your favorite?
I really love capturing nature, which is like wildlife and birds and all the nature pictures. But
Okay.
yes, definitely from landscape perspective, again, landscape, you need to travel, right? You cannot capture landscape anywhere. But for bird photography, you can never stop. You can always continue capturing birds. So
Right.
even in this lockdown, I was able to capture, almost daily something or
Mm-hmm.
other. So at least depends on the season. The birds will come to your place or backyard, or
Right.
you can just travel a little bit, right,
Mm.
during the mornings or over the weekends. You can continue capturing a lot of pictures.
Right.
So definitely, this is for anyone, right? I mean,
Mm.
who is interested in bird photography.
Right.
So because landscape, it is just an excuse for me because I need to travel. Then only I can make a good landscape
Mm.
picture, or even
Right.
any travel picture. But
Right.
birds, if you are really passionate, you can continue capturing. You can continue experimenting. You can continue different sorts of compositions every day.
Right.
So in fact, this is my work from home place. I'll just peep out of my window and I find a lot of birds and I capture when I'm
Wow.
working.
Amazing.
Yeah, this is one of the photo shoots I have done for this baby girl.
Okay.
This is in one of the parks in Hyderabad. So,
Okay.
so I
Mm-hmm.
have post processed it to make the foliage in this color. So it was
Mm-hmm.
completely green.
So, you do commercial shoots as well.
I used to do very
Mm.
few, but not now.
Okay.
Yeah, this particular image I just captured last month during the lockdown.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, just to bring out the importance about wearing the mask,
Mm-hmm.
how secure you are, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
comes your way.
Right. Okay. So how did you shoot this? You use some flashes or some studio
Yeah,
lights?
I used external flash. I used high speed sync with
Mm-hmm.
an external flash,
Mm-hmm.
and I took help from my family for this kind of setup, the powder and all. So I
Interesting.
used one flash, one external flash. I used high speed sync. I have captured in I think around 1250 shutter, 1250 or 1000.
Okay. Nice. Wow.
Yeah, this
Beautiful.
is Niagara Falls image. So this again I
Hmm.
reprocessed last month.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
I have
how?
been to Niagara, I think almost 4 times.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
every time I get some or other beautiful picture in Niagara.
Okay. So is the sky like the way it was?
Yes,
Or
this sky has been replaced. I was about to say that
okay.
the sky has been replaced. It was blue sky with clouds in the original picture.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is again in Tadoba. This
Hello.
is not in the first trip.
Hmm.
This is in my I think couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Tadoba usually people get to see a lot of tigers
Right.
uh, whenever they go. But this particular trip, we have not got anything except this frame. And
Okay.
even
Hmm.
this one, it was very far.
Mm-hmm.
I have used 2x converter to capture this
Mm-hmm.
on my 150-600. So you
Okay.
can imagine how far it is.
Mm.
But still, I was able to manage some, clean shot, sharp enough to
Mm.
publish.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is again I reprocessed recently. So this I
Mm-hmm.
have inspired it from Shah's display picture, whatever he has in his display picture currently. So
Okay.
I thought I wanted to try out something like that in a digital art format, and
Mm-hmm.
I reprocessed this way.
Okay. Beautiful. So, how much time did you spend in post processing this picture?
This picture I took around 2 hours easily
Okay.
because I wanted to do on the minute level. I don't want
Mm.
to leave out anything beyond.
Right.
So the most complex part here is to process these whiskers, right? Because if you wanted to completely change the color of the background or make
Right.
it in a different scenario, so this is the most affected area.
Right. Right. Beautiful. Very nicely done.
Thank you. In fact, I wanted to print this
Mm-hmm.
someday or other in a large
Okay.
format and see how exactly my work reflects in the wall.
Mm-hmm. So, do you print your images?
Not many, but very few I have printed.
Okay.
This again is in Kabini.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, I mean, I have made a video as well during my Kabini trip. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of the beautiful scenes I have experienced. So this particular tusker, so he was standing for a very long time in the same place, and he was
Okay.
trying to eat some vegetation. He was trying
Mm-hmm.
to just it was really beautiful. I think you can see that in the video as well what it has been trying to do.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah. Very nice.
again, I used a D850 for this one with 200 500 lens.
Yeah, that's a great combination.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, this is in Pench National Forest.
Okay.
So it was like burning hot when we went. It was in May. I
Mm-hmm.
visited Pench,
Mm.
so you can imagine how it will be. So I think it was close to 45 or 46. We are just literally burning in the jeep and waiting near
Mm.
this water hole, and this
Mm.
guy showed up. So he was just coming out of that
Mm.
water hole, and he's yawning.
Great. Great.
So one of the things I have learned is whenever tiger yawns, right?
Mm.
You try to repeat. Try to repeat
Okay.
the yawn at least 2 to 3 times.
Okay. Okay.
If it is doing once, it will do again.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
missed the first shot. So this is the
Okay.
second time I have captured.
Okay. Great. 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 So it was lovely going through your pictures, Ujval. So it was really great. So yeah, we have. I have a few more questions which I'm going to
Sure.
ask you. So, what are your top tips? Somebody wants to become a photographer like you. So, what are the tips that you want to give?
So yeah, the basic thing I wanted to tell is I also get a lot of DMs like how do I become full-time wildlife photography, full-time
Right.
wildlife photographer.
Mm.
So yeah, I just wanted to say that there is nothing called full-time wildlife photographer because every wildlife photographer who you can see outside, right? So they have been doing something before. They have been
Absolutely.
working.
Mm.
They have been in some other business or something else, and they
Right.
might have started this wildlife photography as an passion or a hobby.
Right.
So
Right.
so things are different for everyone. So
Mm.
some people might become as a full-time wildlife photographer
Mm.
because they were able to.
Right.
But if you
Right.
are able to do that, that's well and good. But
Mm.
everyone starts with a hobby or a passion,
Right.
working parallelly, right? Because there is no commercial, there is no earning from whatever you do from the wildlife or nature photography.
That's right.
It's all by your own heart. If you
Mm.
wanted to capture something on the nature, you
Right.
can always
Right.
go and capture it.
Right. Right. Great.
So yeah, that's one thing. And photography itself, if you are really serious and if you wanted to learn, so like I was telling you before, so the basic thing is to go through your manual. You
Mm.
understand your camera first, you
Right.
understand your lens
Right.
first,
Mm.
right? And how you wanted to capture, what are the different composition techniques, what is exposure. So all these basics you can easily learn from your manual. Then slowly start experimenting and keep clicking. Once you click 100 images, you will get to know what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong. So it's all based on practice, right? I mean, the more you click, the
Right.
more you understand.
Right.
Even I don't understand few things even now. I try to learn. I try to learn from my experiences. I try to learn what I need to do, inspiring from others.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, that's the basic thing I
Mm.
wanted to tell. Right? You know your gear, you understand your gear completely, and keep clicking.
Great. Yeah. Great, Ujjwal. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you so much for spending your time with us and showing your pictures and also the your knowledge, your experience. So it was great talking to you. And well, probably I'll meet you sometime once this
Definitely,
lockdown is
Saurav.
over.
And in fact, I have a few questions for you if I can ask
Yeah,
you.
please, please. Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand. I mean, because I just wanted to know your basic journey as well. Like, because I have seen your images; they are really beautiful.
Thank you.
I also wanted to know because inspiration gets from everywhere. I can get
Right.
inspiration from anywhere, right? So
Right.
I wanted
Right.
to understand your pictures as well a little bit. If you can just, I mean,
Sure.
how your passion has started, like, right? I mean, how you have turned into a passionate photographer.
Right. So I'm first a traveler and then a photographer. So I started traveling very early. So my first solo trip was in 1995 when I took my dad's scooter and went to a place called Vaishali, which was about 60 kilometers from the capital city Patna, where
Hmm.
I was born, and that's how it started. And so of course, like others, I prepared for engineering but could not get through, and then I did my graduation in computers, and then so after and then I did my masters in computers, and then joined the IT industry like a lot of people. Worked
Hmm.
in the IT industry for 10 years, and even when I was working, I was traveling a lot. I mean, when I was in doing my masters in Pune, I was traveling quite a lot to the places around, taking pictures, and uh,
Hmm.
and even before that, my dad was also a photographer, a hobbyist
Oh.
photographer. So I started with the film camera, his camera first, an camera, and then I bought my first own camera, which was a film camera. This was sometime in 1995. Okay, so that's when I bought my first camera. That was a film camera. I used it for quite some time, and during my college, I did some part-time jobs. Got myself a digital camera, and then later I
Mm-hmm.
got my first digital DSLR, which is a Nikon D50. That was
Oh.
in 2005, and I've been traveling all over and taking pictures. So my dream is to really see India and travel quite a lot all over in India. So and around as well. And a lot of my pictures
Wonderful.
got published. I mean, on the as I was going through the journey. So I also
Yeah.
write articles for a lot of magazines and newspapers. So so it was a great journey so far. And in 2013, I quit my job, got into photography full time. So I actually don't do a lot of commercial photography. I'm more into
Mm-hmm.
tours and going out, taking pictures, and of course I started doing my workshops and then photo tours to different places like Ladakh and Spiti Valley and these
Mm-hmm.
places. So that's how I've been doing so since 2013, and traveling a lot since I quit my job. It has been a great decision. So I'm glad I took that leap of faith to leave my
Right.
job and get into this full time.
Yeah. So how are you finding this particular time, right? I think it must be very difficult because you are a travel photographer, and we are
Yes.
all, in a situation where we have to lock up somewhere, and we cannot move very frequently as we do before. So how do you think it is going to be in future? Like
I
maybe
think
down the line, like.
things will be absolutely like the way it was before. So if you, I was just reading about the pandemics that happened in the past, and one
Hmm.
one pandemic that happened 100 years back was the
Yeah,
Spanish flu,
right. Spanish
which
flu.
wiped out about one third of the population of the earth. It was that
Yeah.
serious that those days also people were wearing masks and people were
Hmm.
put into quarantine. And but then after 2 years, things were normal, absolutely normal. So I
Right.
think it'll be as before. Maybe it'll take its own time, but I think things will get back to
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it is a difficult time, but yeah, I'm making the most of it. You see, now this is one thing I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
doing these
I have been
interviews.
following your interviews. Yes.
Okay, so this is one really good thing. I'm talking to a lot of people. So a lot of them are already my friends. A lot of them are, I mean, acquaintances,
Hmm.
and of course I'm doing some classes online. So people who want to learn photography. So I'm doing those online classes
Wonderful.
as well. So yeah,
Sure. Good to know. Thanks for this opportunity as well, Saurav. And it's
yeah,
really nice interacting with you.
yeah.
I think, yeah,
Great,
we have spoken over Instagram, but I think we never have had a
right,
talk before.
right, right. Great,
Yeah.
great, Ujjwal. So
Yeah,
I think if you don't have any more question, I think we'll end the session here.
sure.
Thank you so much again
Yeah.
for joining me for this session, and I
Thank
hope to
you.
see you sometime when
Definitely.
things get normal. Okay.
Definitely. Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay safe. Yeah.
Yeah. You too. Bye bye.